Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another video. If you are a newer person to be watching my channel, this will be the first time that you're going to see one of my videos that fits nicely in portrait mode on your phone. I decided to make this first episode of Mechanic Showcase to be one on the very first mechanic that I ever felt like was like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at making decks in this game. Like I've got some really cool ideas. And so it's the first like sort of oddball deck that I shared with people. And it was definitely my favorite mechanic in Puzzle Quest for a long time. And I would actually argue that it still is my favorite mechanic in Puzzle Quest, actually. And on top of that, it's one that probably none of you have really played much with. So I hope you enjoy this. There are going to be no takes, no edits, no nothing. I'm just recording this super old school. And I'm doing that because this is a super old school mechanic. So I know the sound is going to be a little bit different. The video quality is going to be a little bit different. But I thought it'd be fun to go retro for this. That mechanic is called Aftermath. So Aftermath says that when this card is put in the graveyard, you're going to activate X number of gems, where X is the number of next to the Aftermath on the flip side of the card. So we've got the first of our Aftermath cards, which is Leave to Chance. And Chance is Aftermath, so the graveyard effect that's going to create 2 activated gems is discard 4 cards in your hand and draw 4 cards. And then this was actually stealth buffed, so Leave used to not be a cancel confirm card. It just used to play automatically. So if you got, if you got a whole bunch of mana from matches, then Leave would just automatically wipe your own board. So it was not good, but now it is much better. We've also got Reason to Believe. Believe's Aftermath is going to fetch the first creature from your library and play it for free. Reason draws you 3 cards. We have Farm to Market, which is going to create Aftermath gems to make you discard 2 and draw 2. And then it also, as a support, is going to destroy an attacking creature. We have Grind to Dust, which is going to serve as removal, as this Aftermath is going to make it so that the first creature your opponent controls is exiled. We have also Consign to Oblivion, which is going to serve as discard for our opponents. So one of the really cool things about Aftermath is that the card is played for free. You just need to match the activated gem. Now, they've added a whole bunch of new things to the game that also help with this. So things like Ox of Agonist. I used to use Forgotten Creation, which was a zombie that would make you discard your hand, which Ox does also. But Ox can also be played from your graveyard, which makes it significantly better for the Aftermath decks. We've also got things like Sweet Oblivion, which lets us mill ourselves and can also be played from the graveyard, which is pretty sweet. Avaricious Dragon, I'm not going to spoil the purpose of this in the deck, but if you've already figured it out by this point, yeah, it's busted. Bacon Bolt is, yeah, amazing here. And then finally, the capstone is Underrealm Lich, which is just going to throw way too much in our graveyard. So if you've never seen what it looks like when the entire board is activated, you're going to be seeing that in this video. So I'm not going to do any bonus takes, anything like that. I'm just going straight into the video. We're against Rel, okay. And you just get to see it like raw, right? This is basically going to be raw footage. All right, so we look at our starting hand, and this is awesome. It's awesome because we have Sweet Oblivion in our starting hand, which means that we can start dumping things into the graveyard. So we can just start getting a whole bunch of free casts pretty darn quickly. So that's pretty good. So here you're going to see what it looks like when you start throwing a whole bunch of things with Aftermath in your graveyard. We've got Farm there. That's great. I actually want that to be destroyed because that's going to make it so that we can get more activated gems. Let's see, what do we have? We have Market and Oblivion over there. On the left, we have Chance on the right. I actually want to save Chance. So yeah, let's just go ahead, dump our hand here, and then get some more stuff in the graveyard. That gets us Avaricious Dragon. It's going to make Rawl discard 2. And this is just a fantastic start for this deck. So we definitely want to get Avaricious down, but I would like to kill that Erratic Cyclops just in case it's going to try and pull some kind of horrible shenanigan nonsense. So I'm just looking through some of my activated gems here. It can take a little bit to get the deck started, but that's really not a huge problem because, I mean, there's so much removal in it that it's pretty easy to make the dream work here. So, all right, next goal is going to be to get Avaricious Dragon down. And yeah, I'm absolutely going to be marketing here because this is going to get me a reason freely into the graveyard. And that means I can start fetching free creatures soon. That's hopefully not going to be Chance. Is it Chance? No, it's not. Good. I think Chance was on the bottom. That just gets us closer to Avaricious. We've got the Ox in the graveyard now. Let's go ahead and move the Ox on up. I'm not going to use Scheming Conquer just yet, actually. So, all right. Now let's see what we have here. We're definitely going to get Avaricious down, which is big, which is really, really, really big here. Other than Avaricious, there's not a whole lot we can do, right? Or you 4? You need 4. I take that back. I thought I was cool, kids, but I'm not. I don't get Avaricious this turn. Beacon Bolt, it is not your time yet. I do want to play you, but not yet. So Beacon Bolts in this deck do way more damage than anything ever should do. That's a Believe. That's going to be a free creature. That's, do I risk it for the Biscuit? Sure. The Biscuit here is Underrealm Lich. There's the Biscuit. Oh, that's a beautiful Biscuit. Okay, here's where things get nutty. You ready? So none of these have haste right now. Right, I say right now, but they're just not going to have haste. I'm going to stop the loop timer. So I'm just saying this in advance. I'm not going to let this loop too crazy out of control. And so what you're seeing is that as I'm drawing cards, the Underrealm Lich is throwing everything in the graveyard. And then as I draw the cards, Avaricious Dragon is destroying the gems. So it's activating a whole bunch of aftermath triggers. So what you're seeing right now is a whole bunch of markets and leaves all activating, making me discard the cards in my hand and redraw them. But so many things are getting dumped into the graveyard right now that it's making it so that it's not able to actually fully complete the activation of either of the spells. So I'm going to let it stop the loop here. Under normal circumstances, I would just let it keep going until I could Beacon Bolt my opponent to death on one turn if I was doing this. But for your guys' time, I'm going to be nice and not do that. So yeah. All right, so Rawl is going to make some matches. We will be able to attack this turn, which is good. And now we have a pretty much fully activated board. So that's pretty sweet, actually. Let's put Leave on down. We've got 2 farms. Believe, market, cool. All right, yeah, let's just take the top row off of this. And then I don't know that I have the Beacon Bolt ready to cast right now. I might not. So now here's something kind of funny. You see how the farms in my hand are disabled? They're actually disabled because there were no available gems for a support to go on. So in the event that you haven't seen what happens if a support can't be played, if there aren't available gems for a support to go on, the support actually gets disabled. And so since this deck activates all of the gems on the board, it makes it so that supports cannot be played if you end the turn and everything is still activated. Now, naturally, as matches happen, then more support gems are going to be able to be played. Sadly, we're out of red and blue gems. Naturally, this deck works best when our opponent is running a 3-color walker. But here you're seeing what happens when all of our markets and leaves and all of that are going off. So I'm not going to stop the loop this time just because this is about done. And it is going to let me use Beacon Bolt. So let's see how much our Beacon Bolt here does. 83, and there's another Beacon Bolt ready to go. And that's the end of Rawl. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is definitely my favorite mechanic. It's one that I pieced together and figured out when it came out, and I've just had a lot of fun with it. And so for my patrons, this was going to be my patron exclusive video for the month that I told you guys about. And so I'm posting it here on YouTube instead, just because it's really cool, and I think that everyone should be able to see it. And I'll come up with something else for you guys special. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next one.